All right, Friday, Friday, virtual wine. I'm Chance here for another round of chair yoga, the most seated type of yoga. so listen to your own body. Wisdom, your body can tell you what it needs, what it doesn't want, and what you need to do is be able to be patient with your body and listen to really what's the messages, what's the sensations, what can you do for your body. And that's what any yoga practice is all about, taking that time. Instead of spending attention outward into the world, we're spending that attention inward to really listen. Really listen. Okay, so let's sit up tall. Relax the shoulders. Notice how your seat is resting on the chair. Notice the weight and how it's distributed. Maybe put a little more lean into your left side or your right side. And we're going to try to make it nice and equal from left side to right side. Low back, very long. Roll the tailbone under, creating even more length in the spine. Soften the shoulders. Try to find your shoulders symmetrical as well. So one's not sitting lower than the other, but you're nice and flat across the shoulders. Tuck your chin slightly. Create a little length in the neck where the spine meets the skull. And deepen the breath very slowly with a lot of care and consideration. In through the nose as deeply as you can without straining. Follow the breath down to the belly, down to the hips, and breathe out completely, slowly, smoothly, not just dumping the breath out, but really holding it to let it go with some care, you know? Inhales turn to exhales, exhales turn to inhales seamlessly. You want a nice smooth transition from inhale to exhale and vice versa. And then you want to create breath with sound. So for these next few breaths, we'll open our mouth, and on our exhale, we're going to breathe out like we're trying to fog up a mirror or a window. Deep breath in. Deep breath out like you're fogging up a mirror through your mouth. And then on this last one, let's breathe just like that, but seal your lips. So it still has that sound that comes from the back of the throat. And we're going to continue breathing like that the rest of the practice. This nice, loud, rich, soothing, oceanic breath. Notice how your body responds. Notice what's going on with, the temperatures in your body, the sensations in your body. And we're going to continue breathing this way and just start to add in some poses. All right, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to reach the arms directly out in front of us. Open the fingers wide. When you breathe in, spread your fingers. And on your exhales, make a fist and point those fists downward. Inhales, we'll open the hands. Exhales, we make fists and point the fists downward. We'll do that 2 more times. Just notice, how do your arms, your hands, your shoulders feel? How do your lungs feel? Last one here. Good. Let the arms rest by the sides. Now when we breathe in, let's shrug the shoulders up toward the ears. And breathe out, slowly drawing them down and back just to see what's there. Where in your shoulder girdle, in the shoulder region, are you holding tension? And do you notice how just simple breath and movement create a bit more space, a bit more vitality, a bit more awareness of what's going on? Prior to this practice, you might not have noticed the tension in your shoulders. Now, while we're practicing, it might seem like there's a lot of tension in the shoulders. It's not that this practice is creating more tension, but rather it is it's shining a light into the places that have been hidden or unconscious in your body. So, as we reveal this tension, our body naturally starts to remedy it, starts to let it go, starts to give it what it needs. Good. Last few breaths. Let's go up with the shoulders on the inhale and roll them forward and down on the exhales. You might notice your chest, your pecs flexing as you're rolling your shoulders in and forward. Still sitting up tall, long through the low back. The weight of the seat very symmetrical, equal on both sides. And we'll let the shoulders take a rest here. Now that we've got some blood flowing through here, just sit up tall, tuck the chin slightly, relax the shoulders, and take some full breaths. What have you noticed that shifted? What is new? What's different? There might be heat, there might be awareness. There might be some vitality there that wasn't there before. Keep going. On your next inhale, we're going to reach the arms wide. Notice the chest, notice the shoulders. Try to have the arms parallel to the ground. On your exhale, we're going to reach the arms forward, bringing the palms together in front of the face. Shoulders nice and symmetrical. Inhales, we reach wide arms. Exhales, hands come together. 2 more of these. Nice and slow. Really pay attention to where in your body is calling for that extra attention. It might feel a little uncomfortable, a little tight, a little tense. And hands together. Good. We'll bring the hands back to the knees. And just take a breath or two with a long spine. Every time we stretch, we're squeezing stuff, we're moving stuff around, and it might take a couple rounds of breath to let that tension kind of subside. Good. Next. Feet still planted nicely on the ground. Reaching up tall through the low back. Now when we breathe in, we're going to reach up overhead. Imagine you have like a block or a ball in your hands. And on your exhales, let's lean forward, lean the heart forward. Tuck the chin round through the spine. On your inhale, halfway lift. Long spine, chest parallel to the ground. Reaching the arms forward. And on your exhale, fold forward again. Tucking the chin, rounding the spine. Inhale, reach the arms high like you're holding that ball. And exhale, bring your hands to heart center. Softening the shoulders, observing what's there. Again, let's take that ball high on your inhale. Exhale, fold forward, bring that ball towards your feet. Tuck the chin, round the spine. On your inhale, reach the ball forward. Chest parallel to the ground. And exhale, fold forward again, rounding the spine, tuck the chin. Inhale, reach that ball high, go nice and slow. Exhale, hands to heart center. Very good. All right, we've done some folding. We've started to kind of unpack what's going on in the spine, in the shoulders. And as you can see, there's a lot there. Try to soften the space around your heart. Really sit up tall. Let's check in on the bandhas, our internal locks. We're going to wake up that pelvic floor and that area where the spine meets the pelvis. So the first lock we're going to work on here is the pelvic floor. It's like a Kegel lift. You draw up and in on all the soft tissue of the bottom. So we're pulling up and in. You might be unfamiliar with these muscles, but you might be familiar with using them in the bathroom or some other, some other setting. But pulling up and in on this pelvic floor creates a support and a pumping action on the low back. So pull up and in as deeply as you can. See what's there, see if you can pull in any deeper. And then when you can't pull in any further, gently, slowly release that pressure and see what shifts. Now we're pulling up and in on the bottom, but you might already start to feel activation in the stomach. You might feel tension around the hips or the low back. This is all related because these groups of muscles are interconnected. The next lock is the upward flying lock, the Uddiyana Bandha. We're going to pull in on the belly button, like we're trying to suck our whole belly up underneath our rib cage. Pull in to the best of your ability until you feel activity in your low back. See what's there. You might feel a lot of tension, some stiffness. It might feel like a lot of work. And when you can't pull in any further, gently release that lock. Now we're going to do them both at the same time. The pelvic floor pulling in and up from the bottom. The belly button pulling in and up from the front. So just notice, can you pair them together? And notice what this does to your low back. It might feel like a ton of work, and that's good, because these muscles are responsible for so much of our wellness, and they're often overlooked. So let's just give these muscles, these internal locks, a few good pumps. Try to coordinate them with the breath. Maybe try lifting them on the inhales or lifting them on the exhales and releasing them on the opposite, on the exhale or the inhale, or whatever feels good for you. But we want these groups of muscles pumping, squeezing, massaging our spine from the inside. Big, loud breaths. Active bandhas, our internal locks, our core. And we'll move to those hips. Very important intersection here. I like this modified warrior 2. Great pose to practice every day. Let's bring that right leg out to the right. Point the toes on the right foot directly out to the right, and make sure the knee is right above the ankle. We'll reach that left leg out to the left. Press into the sole of the foot on that left foot, so you feel some activity around the ankle of the left foot. You traction both feet into the ground so you feel your thighs and hips engaging. It's not going to look the same on everybody because not everybody's got the same hip mobility. You need to listen to your body where you find a comfortable amount of discomfort. Now that's a stretch. You don't want your stretch to be painful. You don't want it to be agonizing. You don't want it to make you injured, right? But you do want it to have a little bit of discomfort where you can then observe where in your body is being worked, and you can focus on these concepts of the breath and the bandhas to support and neutralize any of that discomfort. We'll reach both arms out to the side. Try to parallel the arms with the ground. Open the chest as wide as you can by reaching your arms as far apart as you can. You might notice your shoulder socket feeling very stretched right here, and place your chin right above that right shoulder. Take full breaths all the way in and all the way out, keeping that low back long, keeping your heart soft. And on your next exhale, lean that torso over to the right side. You can bring your right elbow to your right knee. Try to not put too much weight into that elbow because you want your side body engaged. See if you can lift your elbow and still keep that same angle. But completely up to you. You can tilt your chin up toward that upper hand. And take some full breaths. Check in on your bandhas. How does pulling in on the pelvic floor show up in this pose? How does pulling in on your belly button feel? What does it reveal? And on your inhale, we'll come back up to that warrior two, or that modified warrior two as we're seated. And on your inhale, we'll take a modified reverse warrior, bringing your left hand to your left thigh and your right hand straight overhead. Look up toward that right hand and point your chin toward that hand. Big breath in. Big breath out. And we'll gently lower that right hand. Walk your feet back to center. Take any organic movement. Kind of notice where in your body did that just do some work. Was it in the hips, the low back, the shoulders, the neck? That was a full body pose, so you might feel it on your right side of your body, or maybe even parts of your left side. So just pay attention. What do you feel? And we'll take it to the other side. We'll bring the left foot out to the left. Point the left toes directly out to the left. Place the left knee right above the left ankle. Reach that right leg out to the side as far as you can. The toes on the right foot are going to be kind of pointed, to the right side and kind of to the front, to the front and right. So your back toes are kind of diagonal here. Press the sole of the foot into the ground. Press the sole of both feet into the ground. Roll the tailbone under, lift up through the low back. Feel that activation in the hips and parallel both arms to the ground. Chin right above that left shoulder. We're reaching the arms as wide as we can, all the while drawing down on the shoulders to bring the shoulders away from the ears. Take some thoughtful, intentional breaths here. Where is this comfortable discomfort showing up? If it's extreme discomfort, ease off. We don't need any extreme discomfort. We definitely don't want any pain in this practice. But we do want to take a moment to discern what's the difference between gentle discomfort and pain. All right? Only you know what your limit is, what your threshold is. So listen to your body. We'll take one more big inhale. And exhale, extended side angle, or this modified angle here. Bring the left elbow toward the left knee, right hand overhead. Point your chin up toward that right hand, rotating the torso. Take weight out of that left elbow. Maybe you can lift up your elbow so you're not just dumping the weight. You want to feel very engaged in this right side. We'll take a big breath here. Full breath out. Use those bandhas, the pelvic floor, the belly button. And on your next inhale, come up, warrior two. Next, we'll take that reverse warrior, that peaceful warrior. Right hand comes to the right thigh. Left hand reaches high into the sky. Draw down on the shoulders, tip your chin up toward that upper hand, pull in on the bandhas. See what all's there. Can you pull up and out of your low back? We're always creating length in these thoughtful stretches. You can bring that left hand down rather, and we'll walk the feet back in towards center. Once your feet are planted, your hips are nicely squared, your seat is nice and symmetrical, spine long, shoulders relaxed. Take a couple breaths. Observe the work you've done. Observe where it's still working. Right side, left side, spine, hips, shoulders, neck. Pump those bandhas a couple times. See what kind of space, what kind of movement has returned to your body. And I'm going to cross the right ankle over the left knee to stretch this outer hip. Now just crossing the ankle over the knee might be intense enough for you. All the rest is optional to find your edge. You can flex that right foot, meaning pointing the toes back toward the shin. I might put a little more pressure on that right hip. You can press a little pressure into the right knee to parallel your shin with the floor. As you sit up tall, you might feel even more hip stretch there. Take one big breath in, and if you're still looking for more intensity, lean your heart towards your shin. Keep a long, low back. Keep those bandhas in play. Keep the breath loud. Doesn't matter how many times you forget about the breath or the bandhas or your body. The point of the practice is to continue to remember the breath and the bandhas and the body. There's no way to do it wrong. Distraction is a natural part of this practice. Remembering is what we're practicing. Remembering to come back to this moment. Good. On your next inhale, we'll come up. Cross that leg. Take the second side, crossing your left ankle over your right knee. Sit up tall. Ask yourself, is this intense enough? If it is, great. Breathe there. Focus on the breath and the bandhas. If you're looking for more, flex that left foot, creating more length in that IT band, that the left outer line of your leg. You're going to feel that in the hip. Sit up tall, hips to each other. Option to press some pressure into that left hand, into the left knee to parallel the shin with the ground. Sit up tall, relax the shoulders, take a big breath in, and if you're looking for more, lean your heart towards your shin, keeping the spine long. The quality of the breath, the power of the breath. It's what we're constantly remembering. Doesn't matter how many distractions you encounter. The distractions are there. The practice is departing from the distractions to come back to the present moment. Next inhale, gently rise. Uncross the legs. Move your knees if that helps to let go of any tension that the stretch created. We'll take a twist, take your left hand, put it on your right knee. Place your right hand on the right side of your chair or the back of your chair, however far you can reach, really. Keep your hips square to the front, your knees pointing forward, and place your chin over your right shoulder, looking out over that right shoulder in a twist. Now, as you twist, breathe all the way down to your belly and your hips. Fill the lungs all the way up to the top. Feeling what is revealed. Where is the tension? In the shoulders, the neck. How do the bandhas feel when you're twisting? What do they reveal? On your next inhale, we'll unwind. Take it the second side. Place the right hand on the left knee, the left hand on the left side of the chair, or the back of the chair. Knees pointing forward, hips square. Look out over that left shoulder. Reach up tall through the crown of the head. Relax the shoulders. Full breaths from the bottom of the belly or lower all the way up to the head. Notice what a twist reveals. Notice how the bandhas play a role here. And we'll come back to center. Place your palms facing the sky, backs of your hands on your knees. Sit up tall, find that symmetry in your spine. And just breathe for a minute with the intention of gratitude. Grateful for all your body does for you, even though we usually spend very little time nourishing and nurturing our body always shows up. So give thanks for your body. Give thanks for this practice. Give thanks for what is revealed, where you feel stuff working, where you feel tension dissolving, where you feel stuff moving. Gratitude for it all. When you're ready, you can bring your hands to heart center. Namaste, a phrase that simply means the light in me recognizes the light in you. Have a great Friday. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you again next week.